Episode 95, guys. Ryan still out of the house. We talk about anxiety on the course, weird things that make us feel shitty or make us feel nervous on the course that probably shouldn't. We talk a little bit more about babies, a little bit more on the Ryan baby league delivery, whatever, conspiracy theory. And then we bring on a special guest never seen before on the Double Bogey Show, but he's very important to this page. Actually, he might be the origin of this page. So we have a special guest on for segment 2, and we talk about all sorts of shit, beginning golf, league golf, the whole nine. So enjoy the episode, guys. It is a good one.
They piped that the wrong way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book in another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.
Okay, episode 95.
95.
Still just me and Matt holding down the fort.
We got a
Ryan,
special guest coming on later on, but Ryan's still taking his sweet time to come back.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd call this guest special.
I'd say so.
He's all right.
First time guest, that's special.
First time, yeah, brand new guest. Yeah, Ryan is still, he's gone. He's
still AFK away from keyboard.
Yep. He is. Do you think Ryan will end up working from home forever?
Depends on if that net's up in his garage, because then he might. How many times do you think he's hit the net this week? I think he's got that baby just sitting watching him.
Yeah, dude.
Pulling an Earl Woods.
Yeah, but the problem is in his garage. You know how many times he misses the net? That ball's bouncing around. He can't have it hit the baby.
That's true.
He's probably got the net in the yard and the baby up next to a window.
Watching him.
So the baby can watch him hit into the net in the yard.
Did you read the Tiger Woods book by chance?
No.
Because that's apparently his origin story, is like that all Earl would do to hang out with Tiger when he was a baby was just sit him down and have him watch Earl take swings. And then apparently one day Tiger got out of the stroller, took his first steps, grabbed like a little club and swung it and like did really well. Like that's like the origin story that's told or whatever. I'm not sure how much I believe it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying
but
it.
That was like
first steps.
I don't know if it was his first steps, but I know like he just walked over, grabbed a little baby club and like striped it. So, and then that's when his dad decided to just become an absolute lunatic and beat the human out of Tiger. Not beat, but like just
mentally.
Yeah, mentally destroy his son.
Yeah. Well, it worked. He's the best golfer to ever live. So.
Yeah, exactly. How do you feel about that whole like risk reward thing? Because I know like that was kind of the same thing with like Venus and Serena Williams and like Michael Jackson and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I'd rather have my kid grow up to be a middle of the pack professional golfer.
And enjoy their childhood.
Yes. Yep.
I agree.
Yep. What are we talking about today, Matt? You are running the show.
I am. So I wanted to make this episode about anxiety and stress. Just really.
Yeah, make it feel good for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's listening to this to unplug from the real world problems. Mm-hmm. So we're going to bring in some of the golf problems. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of the little things on the course that cause you anxiety and stress that probably shouldn't?
God, where do I start?
I got one to start off.
Okay.
You know what's the absolute worst is when you hit it into the other fairway and you have to take a shot and you see like the group waiting for you to take the shot.
Yeah.
There's no chance that next shot is going to be good for me.
No, I punch there.
Yeah.
I get up to it and I just hit it, try to get it somewhere closer to the hole out of that fairway.
Yeah, it makes me so nervous. I always think they're going to just take it, like not see me and take a swing regardless.
Well, I'm more worried about hitting them.
Yeah.
Because like they can't move. They're at their balls. They're on their tee box or whatever. You're in their fairway. I'm so afraid I'm going to just slice it into them.
And hit them.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Especially because you know you have eyes on you and they're wondering, who the fuck is this guy? Where did he come from?
He obviously sucks.
Yeah.
So.
He's 2 fairways over. One that bugs me also with another group, I get anxious when other people are behind us, even if we're keeping pace.
Yeah.
I am always trying to go as fast as I can, even if there's a group in front of me. If someone's behind me, I'm always trying to go as fast as possible, even if there's a group in front of me or we're keeping a perfectly fine pace. It just stresses me out. And I know they're probably not worried about it because we've talked about it 100 times that like when I'm in the group behind someone, I don't care if they're playing slow too much.
You can control what you can control.
Right. So I know the people behind me probably don't care too. I just want to get a little giddy up in my step.
Yeah.
So like at League last week, I was pretty stressed out when Ryan was like putting his club cover back on and stuff like that, or his whole bag cover. One other thing that stresses me out, little weird thing. If I can see somebody, just see them. They don't have to be moving. They can be quiet as hell in my peripherals while I'm putting. I don't
throws you off.
It does. It's weird. So like if I'm like looking at my putt and I check the hole, you do a couple back and forths, and if there's like someone to the right of me, like their shadow doesn't even bother me, but if I can see them, gets in my head.
I think I always just have, because I kind of have the same thing. I always just have some weird assumption that they're just gonna run and kick my ball or just like smoke it, and that's never happened to me once in my entire life. But I just have the feeling that they're just gonna like either try and spook me because they know how like tense I am, or they're just gonna run and like just smack the ball out of nowhere.
Yeah,
which is no fault of my own.
Yep.
That's just my lack of trusting people.
Yeah, well, I got to maybe start doing that so you always stay on your toes.
I think it'd be good for me.
You start kicking your fucking ball around.
Just be an absolute dick.
So then you're just trying to get the putt off as fast as possible and you think less about the putt.
Yeah, exactly. I actually think that's what Earl Woods did to Tiger, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also don't like when anyone says they have something to do even remotely close after the round, because then again, I feel like I got to keep things up. Like if I'm stuck in the sand, like, oh, fuck, they said they had to go do something in 2 hours. I'm like, gonna make them
I gotta
late.
get out of the sand quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. You feel obligated to make sure they're on time, even though they agreed to the round of golf.
Yeah, it's their fault, not mine. But I feel like if I'm the one holding them down, they're gonna like show up late and be like, "Oh, sorry, Matt was stuck in the sand again."
Yeah. I feel that. I don't like. This is gonna sound so ass backwards from everything that I've ever said on this. I don't like finding a ball that I think people think I lost.
Okay.
Like when I honestly, if I hit it into the weeds a little bit and I do find my ball and I know it is my ball, I feel like they think I'm lying.
I get that same thing.
Yeah, it's
like you just found a ball or you just dropped one.
Right. They like,
especially if it's not as deep into the weeds as like you think.
Yeah, like it's just barely outside of the reeds, legitimately. Like you roll it up and you're like, oh no, that's probably in the water even. And then you walk up to it and it's just on the edge of the water.
Like, oh, I found it.
Yeah, every time I'm like, everyone thinks I'm a liar.
Yeah, I'm very like keen to like cheating accusations as well.
Even though like, we're playing by the book and it's actually my ball and I didn't hit it in the water, everyone's gonna think I'm lying. And then at the end, when I my score is better than theirs, they're gonna be like, "No, you took a free drop out of the water."
Yeah, well, all right, we'll count that one like at the end of the round.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that exact same way. One last one I have is anytime the ranger's around, I just automatically assume I'm doing something wrong. I'm in trouble in some way. It's just like when the principal came to class and was watching in the back.
Yep.
It was like, and you're just like extra studious, just like.
But he's actually there to watch the teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That is a great method to keep the students in line, though, too.
I also really don't like when the marshal is on the first tee with you.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm always running a little late to my tee times too.
Yep. When they don't really give a shit as long as like it doesn't impede on other tee times.
I've had some give a shit.
Really?
Yeah, but they probably impeded on other tee times.
Yeah, they don't. I really think they don't care if it's like pretty wide open. They don't really care if you're there 10 minutes early or 10 minutes late. They'll let you go out. But if it's like a busy Saturday and you're late, then they'll care.
Yeah.
But I just don't like when they're on the first tee. It's fine when they're like at the putting green, like sending you out to the first tee. But if they're standing on it, it's so awkward. And the one that I've dealt with the most, he always tries to give me advice.
Really?
And it's just like, can you stop?
Is
man?
this the one at the course you'll never go to again?
No, this
Different
is
one.
at my favorite course.
Okay.
Yeah, he's super nice guy. And then he'll just drive around and see me again, try to give me more advice. Like, I'm playing pretty good today.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
I would pay you if I wanted advice.
Yeah, I'll pay you to stop giving me advice.
Anything, really.
Yeah, because then he'll give me the advice and then sit there and watch me try to use his advice.
Because then you can't like go back to your old swing.
Right.
You actually have to make like a concerted effort and like overcorrect for whatever his advice was. And then be like, do the whole song and dance like, oh yeah, I felt something there.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, in the wrist, right?
Oh,
okay. That's what I've been doing.
I usually hit a bigger fade than that. You're right. That worked.
I'll have to keep trying. Thanks for that. And then the second he drives off.
Yeah. Take off.
Second he drives off, you are doing the exact same thing.
What else gives you anxiety, Matt?
Golf related or?
Yes. This is a podcast.
Good call. When I'm running low on supplies, I get I think that makes me like worse. Like low on balls, low on tees.
Yeah.
I start treating that ball like it's like a piece of gold. I'm half swinging. I'm not even like going to try and swing near water.
Yeah, the balls don't bother me as much as tees.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm extremely religious for some reason about using a full tee, even if it's on a par 3.
Okay.
I have shorties for that. And if I start to run out of them, I just feel like it throws off my flow because I'll try to use the same exact tee for an entire round. I'll have a tall boy and a shorty, and I try to use them the entire round.
See, I got like 5 in my pockets at all time.
Because like most people are better golfers than me, so they're breaking tees left and right. I'm not.
Are you supposed to break the tee?
I think so.
Okay.
Or at least it's supposed to come out.
I guess that makes sense why they're sold in like 64 packs.
Yeah. Yep. Tees, I'll get a little anxiety when I'm running low on tees. But balls, I am a bloodhound for balls, so I'll find more.
You'll find them. 100%.
There was one time I was golfing with Miles and Ryan where we ran out of balls and we were just playing with ones we found.
that's where you're playing a dangerous game.
Yeah.
Now.
Yo, definitely.
Yeah.
It was like they let us on and the clubhouse wasn't open or something. And we couldn't buy balls. And so I was just like in the
all right,
woods.
We're playing.
Supply. That was at the Green Bay Country Club.
Oh, okay. So you're like,
Yep.
we're playing as long as we're able to. There's
Yeah.
kind of something beautiful about that. It's like a hunter-gatherer type
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. And we did pretty good that day too. Beat Ryan. So
That's what the scorecard's all about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
learned that origin story today.
yeah, people don't know this. The scorecard that is behind Ryan's seat is the first time I ever beat him. And he has never noticed that that's the card that's up.
That's beautiful. And he won't listen to this. So
Mm-hmm. No, not a chance.
So he'll never know.
Well, actually, these are probably the ones he's most likely to listen to.
Just to see if we're talking shit.
Yeah, which we are. Sorry, Ryan.
Has he said anything about our theory about the baby yet?
We talked about it on YBR. It might be debunked, but I'm still not buying it.
It's more fun for us to.
Yeah, because Meg apparently was having like not a baby shower, but something similar, like baby's coming soon type of little get together with their friends.
How many events are there for babies?
It's pretty much just the baby shower.
Well, there's gender reveal too.
Yeah, a lot of them do kind of combine the two.
Gotcha.
So you can do. So there's 3 types of different baby events.
Okay.
Baby showers, gender reveals, diaper keg parties.
Gotcha.
So we just combined all 3 basically.
I think that's probably the move.
Yeah. So like then we didn't even do half of them with the second kid. It was like you do it once, you don't need to do it again.
Yeah, it's just like we're becoming parents more of an event.
Yep. So we did like we had a keg and wine and like so it was wipes. If you wanted wine, you had to bring a thing of wipes. If you wanted beer, you had to bring a thing of diapers.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
That's it.
All right. Well, enough of the baby talk. Should we kick it on to segment 2 and the special guest?
Yeah, let's do it. Bringing on a brand new guest. He has never been on a podcast before in his life. Welcome to the podcast, my friend Lane. Lane, welcome. Mysterious new voice to the podcast. The actual grandfather of Breakfast Ball. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh God, he's gonna be terrible.
This is
Who invited him on? Thank you.
Hey,
Hey, I think you're doing good.
He's like Ricky Bobby in his first interview. What are you doing with your hands?
I don't know. Am I supposed to like cross him over like you? You're
No.
protecting yourself.
I
You got it?
grab the mic and I lean as far
Yeah,
back.
this is
possible
what Matt
with it.
does when he's in this chair.
Oh, this feels
Just
relaxed though. I
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah, I get
Fucking feet
comfortable
up.
with it.
People can see up his shorts.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And there usually is on podcast days.
It's also good bicep work. All these mic stands are heavy.
Yeah.
This
And
is
it
a
makes me
massive-
feel like I'm in more control. If I'm like this, I feel like I'm in an interview.
Yeah, fair. But Ryan is gone. Ryan is still gone. He is on paternity leave. So didn't have time to wrangle up a guest because obviously we weren't planning on Ryan's baby popping out right now. So we went over to the merch warehouse. Lane is an employee here. He does all sorts of shit that I don't understand in the merch side. But Lane has been a friend of mine since 2015.
Yeah, just
Well-
about.
Yeah, we lived together in college. And Lane inadvertently started the page. So everybody take a quick second to thank Lane for this podcast.
You guys, this is my payment now for you guys stealing my tea time on Friday mornings with Tyler.
Yeah, so let's give him a little bit of the background, Lane. So how did it start? Who prompted who? Did you ask me or did I ask you to come golf?
You asked me to golf once, but then it got like nice to do on a Friday morning. So it's like during
Yeah.
COVID, no one's going out. We're like,
Mhm.
well, we might as well go golf.
Yeah. So every morning, every Friday morning at like 7 a.m., we would walk 9 holes at Prairie Wood. So that's why you asked, some listener one time asked what my favorite course in Fargo is. And I said Prairie Wood, not because of the quality, but because of the memories. But so we golfed every day for what, like maybe a month or two?
Yeah, just about. And then you started being like, oh, we should get a squad of 4 guys.
Well.
We should get
Hold
some
on.
other people in here. I just can't. I'm running out of conversation topics.
Like, I am so sick of being around you. No, it was like we weren't living together at this point, so it was one way to, because you weren't working here yet either. So it was one way we could still hang out, and one way we could get the fuck out of the house and doing stuff, because you had the weirdest schedule of all time. He was like flipped. You know, like people talk about how babies' their sleep schedules flipped. Lane, your sleep schedule was absolutely fucked.
Yeah, I would meet my mom for my dinner, her breakfast at about 5:30 in the morning. So when I'd golf with you, I would just stay up and then I'd golf, and that was actually my night golf because I'd go to bed afterwards.
Holy shit. And it wasn't because you had a night job.
No, I just had school going on, and I was like, classes start at noon. Might as well get up at noon. Flip my whole day.
So Lane would like stay up till the middle of the night playing video games or doing whatever. So then we had our golf, and like any office, right? Any office that has males in it, you talk about your golf game.
Oh yeah.
Like it is almost impossible to play a round of golf and then come back to the office and not tell people how you golf.
Act like it never happened.
Yeah, it's almost impossible, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You tell them every time, even if you just went and like hit some balls on the range, you're like, oh man, the 9 was really feeling.
Oh yeah, like even if you shot a fucking 60 on 9 holes, you talk about like, yeah, dude, I had a couple pars right in there. They were sweet. Like you should have seen a great recovery shots today.
You come in wearing the polo still.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Yeah, you're just like a tiny bit sweaty. People can tell you golf. There's like an aura that comes off you, and then once you see it, you have to talk about it. So that's how other people got introduced, Lane. I wasn't bored. I would come to work and talk about golf, and then Ryan and Miles got jealous. So they're like, oh, can we come with on a morning? That sounds great. And so then they came with, and once 2 more people in the office came with, they started talking about it too. And then Jade started coming with. So at one point we had 5 guys on our Friday morning round, and Lane and I were like, this has lost its luster.
We destroyed the fun.
Yeah. And then I don't remember who it was. It was probably Miles. What we were on like hole 2 or something. He's like, we should be filming this. It's like, Miles, you don't have to turn everything we love into content.
I got introduced to him in a great way because he was like, oh, let's put money on it. Let's like do this. And he's a really good golfer. I'm like, man, this guy's a hardo. I do not want to golf with this guy more.
Yeah. So Miles wanted to film it. And at this point, the luster of Lane and I's Friday morning round of golf had already lost its shine. So Lane dropped out, and then we decided to do an actual video. We were going to vlog an entire 18 holes. And we went to Village Green in Moorhead, and it was me, Ryan, Jade, and Miles. And Miles played so fucking bad.
So that vlog did not see the light of day.
It never saw the light of day because that's when I still sucked, and I beat him on the first ever breakfast ball video, and he didn't want to shoot another one ever after that. So then Ryan and I were like, can we keep it going? Can we shoot more videos? And he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'd go for it. So then we shot a couple of videos. We were going to start a hunting podcast, and we're like, well, we can only talk about that for 3 times a year. Like we can talk about it in the fall. We can talk about spring a little bit. So we're like, fuck it. We're just going to start a golf podcast without asking. So we had permission to do hunting, and then we just started doing the golf podcast. And here we are. And Lane and I haven't golfed together ever since.
But, I'm pretty busy on Thursdays. I got a full team that I golf with. It's kind of hard to get other times.
Yes. Kind of blasphemous what we're doing right now, Matt.
Oh yeah, we're fraternizing with the enemy is what we're doing.
Yes, the enemy that didn't know they were the enemy for a while. Lane is part of our quote unquote rival league team that I did golf with 2 weeks ago.
And had a blast.
And had way more fun.
Lane, I don't know if you listened to
team.
the podcast, but he came in here gushing.
Oh, I did. I listened to that one because he replaced me that week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was Lane.
That's why I had so much fun.
You got to see. That's what I get to do every week.
Mm-hmm,
like you guys have only been together twice. Imagine doing it every week.
Yeah. Think about that. I have played with the rival team almost as much as I've played with my actual team.
Half as much, yeah.
Holy shit. So how's the league going for you guys?
Going really well. We're all, getting in the stride of things. Everybody's got a good feel for each other. We golfed together last year, so now everybody kind of like there's no awkwardness between each other.
Yeah, but
So
you did throw Nick into the ring. Nick didn't golf last year.
Oh, we did, and he's pretty fresh as far as a golfer goes, but he's as you know, like a pretty strong dude. He just gets there and hits the thing like a caveman, and it goes far. It's insane.
He's one of these guys that he kind of looks like, has anyone ever seen Umbrella Academy in here?
I have not.
Oh yeah,
He looks like Luther.
yeah, he does.
Just unbelievable upper body gorilla arms and then tiny skinny little baby legs.
So he kind of plays like how Donkey Kong plays Mario Golf.
Yes, exactly.
That is spot on.
Yes. There was no ball control, but the fucking thing goes a mile or 2 feet.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, so league, you guys, you have quite the gambit of players. You have the full spectrum. Like not because Nick kind of is the noob now.
Yeah, that was me last year.
You were the noob last year. You are the up and comer, good round, bad round, good round, bad round guy. Then you got Connor, who is he don't know what you're gonna get.
No, you might get. Now that he's married, he's been hitting the ball further. I keep asking him if he's got a kid on the way. I don't know if he's hiding that. He's got the secret dad strength. I don't know.
We talked about that. So we're pretty sure Meg went into labor while we were at league last week.
Because Ryan got pretty quiet. He didn't want to drink. He was the only one in our group that didn't drink. He actually didn't get that quiet, but we definitely picked up the pace a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We were hustling, and we looked at his scorecard. Like halfway through the round, he started playing lights out. So we think that somehow through the universe, he got his dad strength mid-round.
Because the timing does add up too. Like in terms of like when she would have potentially gone into labor versus when the baby was born.
Like she might not have known that she was in labor yet, but she could have been in like pre-labor because you get like these things called Braxton Hicks contractions.
Okay.
That you get those throughout the whole third trimester, and they're just basically your body prepping yourself for actual labor. And so she might have been getting real ones thinking they were those because they start off really light. So she potentially was in labor while we were golfing because the baby was born the very next morning.
Oh,
and Ryan played really good.
He did.
Did you feel that strength come into you when you had Charlie?
Well, here's the thing. I had both my kids during the middle of the winter. So my dad's strength didn't show up until the first shot off the tee.
So maybe like when you were chopping wood or whatever.
Yeah. So whatever I was doing, I was probably just like changing oil without using a car jack or whatever, just holding it up, things like that. Simple
just holding
stuff.
the door open for someone at the grocery store and like, this is easier than usual.
He's like, oh God, did that come off the hinges? Oops. So tell me about your golf career, Lane. You started off, you have one of the weirdest fucking swings of all time. Why?
Yeah. So I have the same clubs that I got, I think, when I was 12 years old, and I've been rocking those. Okay. So I've kind of always used those same ones. Then I took a couple of years off of golf, and then I just got back into it. So I topped the hell out of it. So I have to really bend over. I'm really hunched, which is it's a good look for me on the course because any photos of me, I look ridiculous. But then sometimes the ball will just fly.
Yes. One thing that I really want to talk about with you is your follow through, especially off the tee. So let me give you an audio visual quick. So Lane, as he said in his stance, is pretty hunched over, not as hunched over with the driver. No. Lane has one of the most massive backswings of all time. Like he wraps it around his head. It basically touches his front pocket. And then he swings through with every ounce of muscle he has in his body. And then most people, the club comes around and your feet don't move a ton. Lane does a full pivot with his 1 foot. His 1 foot comes off the ground, swings around 180 degrees, and then he's standing with his chest facing the fairway. And then he sits there and he points like Babe Ruth.
It's the basketball player in you. The pivot.
So I played a lot of baseball.
Okay.
And so it always like by the time that you make contact, you kind of want your like hips coming through it. So it's some pseudo golf baseball swing. And I open myself up a lot as well. So I'm basically in like a baseball stance, come through, shoot my hips. And then by the end of it, I'm just walking towards the shot, which looks really good when I hit it well, but not when I top it like 2 feet. Cause sometimes I'll accidentally walk right past the ball and then have to turn around.
Go find it.
Are you playing league tonight?
I am.
Can you have somebody film a drive where you just go fucking go for it? Is it back nine tonight?
I don't know what it is tonight. I hope it's back nine.
If it's back nine, I want to film it on that one super long par 5 that's across that ditch.
It's going in the ditch if I'm trying to swing it
No,
hard.
do it.
I struggled on that hole too. That was a tough one.
Yeah, it's very it's a mind fuck. Because the hole itself, in theory, is not a hard hole, but there's so many little things that can go wrong on it. Those stick into your head. Yeah,
you're thinking about what can go wrong, and it will go wrong.
Yes,
basically.
Yes, the more you think about the bad stuff, the more likely it is to happen. Lane, I'm assuming, and I know I'm right here. You are similar to me in the fact you don't really like getting a ton of advice on the course.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, like one thing is good, but as soon as you start to like throw multiple things into it, then I'm thinking during a swing. Yeah, it just doesn't work. And then I'm gonna not do any of them.
Right. So that's the get. How did we get to your swing where it is? Is it a self-taught thing? You just did what worked for you, or what?
I'd take like little things in. I'd take like one thing here, one thing there, and then I just had to get out and actually like swing a bit because I'd always golf that first summer. I'd never go on a range. So you think about like how many times you actually hit a club. Maybe hit your 9-iron like 4 times. Maybe hit your driver like 3 times. On Prairie Wood like 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
Then it was, well, if you get out on a range, you're probably hitting it more that time on the range than you are like the next 3 weeks of golfing.
So was it just things in your head where you're watching videos where like, I need to open my hips more, or was it a feel thing?
Some of it's a feel thing. Some of it's like you just got to swing enough to actually recognize what's wrong. So like the other day, I actually corrected my own swing for the first time ever. And I was like, yeah, put me on the tour. Like, here we go. I was like, I didn't extend my back arm enough. And then I hit it the next one. I'm like, that's right. That drive went 280.
It's so funny how quickly it like changes in your head of like, oh, I'm the greatest ever.
Yeah.
All it takes is like 1 or 2 good shots. Like, oh, I figured it out for life. I'm set.
Lane is the king of that. There was one time, I've told this story on the podcast before, the almost hole-in-one that I was there for, that you adjust, so it's the only par 5 at Prairie Wood. Lane proceeds to get a 12, right? Something like that.
Max that hole.
Yes. It was 5 yards at a time, chipping his way to the green. Next one is a par 3, like 170 straight away. Lane tops the living piss out of the ball. It hits the ground maybe 10 yards past the tee box, but he swung so hard that it just bounced on the ground, rolled up onto the green, hits the fucking pin, and bounces like 6 inches away from the cup. It is the closest thing to a hole-in-one I've ever seen in my life. What was going through, you've had multiple occasions where you've almost had hole-in-ones. What is it like in your head knowing that the level you're at is pretty fresh, pretty new, considering that there are 65-year-olds that have been golfing their whole life and haven't gotten that close? What's going through your head in your near hole-in-ones?
Every time I hit him, I'm just like, oh boy, like that one might get on the green, and then it keeps rolling. Then I'm like, it's going towards the pin, and then it kind of keeps going a little bit, and it's like, oh, that might have a chance. And then I'm losing it. I'm like losing it internally, trying to keep it cool. That might go in. Like I don't want to look dumb. That wasn't a good shot, but that might go in. Let's go.
Does it take something away from it if it's a bad shot and it goes in?
Well, have you guys seen the video of the little kid who kind of does the exact same thing? Like he just rolls and but it does go in. Like it literally rolls the entire way, but then goes in.
Yeah.
You guys have seen that video?
Yeah, well, that kid's like 4.
Yeah.
Lane's a fully grown man.
That's true.
Same joy, though. Same
yeah,
joy.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
but I don't think the kid realized what he'd even done.
Right. Well, so what I'm asking is like, is there a little bit of shame when you tell people, or is it still you're just fucking jacked that you got a hole-in-one?
Oh, no shame at all. I'm like, if anything, for me too, because I'm like a double bogey golfer. So me getting a birdie on anything is like the equivalent of a hole-in-one anyways. So I'm like, that was sick. Let's go get this birdie. And then I got to bury a 4-footer, which for me is not automatic.
Right.
So I got to go up there. I got to keep my cool.
Well, you're
like,
on the
right,
right show for that.
Yeah. Hey, we're the Double Bogey Show.
Yeah. Have you gotten birdies before? I've still never gotten one.
I have. I actually got money at the golf league a couple times because they'll do best hole score. And I got a birdie on a par 4. I actually got I made like a 40-foot chip, which is insane for me.
You chipped it.
Just like insane for me, but that counts as like a hole-in-one. So any other player, like a scratch golf player, would have to hit a hole-in-one to equal my hole there.
That's dope.
It was the long par 4 with like the stoplight on the back 9.
Gosh,
That like lets people know that they're passed on the other side of the hill. I golfed the next week for you right after that and birdied it as well. So you should if that wasn't the hole they were counting that week though.
I've gotten a little bit of money there. I got a new hat. I'm building up towards something.
Yeah.
You know?
Lane also on the bucket hat train. Can we talk about bucket hats? Why is nobody fucking doing that?
I like the big brim bucket
Yeah.
hats. Oh yeah.
The wide one, not like the true bucket hat, the wide brim one. I wore it in the last video. I think it was Vegas.
Yeah.
We need to make those a thing again.
I agree. I was wearing them back in college all the time, but it was more of like the Coachella style, like the droopy.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think those ones are in. I think like the ones you guys have, like the firmer.
Yeah. What did we call it? Can you Google what those are actually called?
For sure.
When we were at the Caddy Girls tournament, Grandpa was trying to find something to buy from the Legends course we were at for the tournament. And I saw one of those hats and I was like, Grandpa, you gotta fucking get it. Like I had to wear breakfast ball stuff.
It's not these ones, right?
That's like the next level of the Bill Murray umbrella hat from Space Jam.
I could rock this one, and I think I'd be pretty comfortable doing it.
You won't. Order it right now.
I'll do it after the show.
That's like a 5-foot umbrella hat.
That is absurd.
Do you think you could be athletic in that hat? Like
A
full
boonie hat.
I
range
can't
of
be
motion?
athletic without it. So
to the right. Up, Matt. Up. Right
Sorry?
there. Boonie hats.
boonie hat. Okay.
We need to make boonie hats a thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're a great look.
The only thing that's a little annoying is that strap. You gotta kind of like cinch it up like a
I
little
kinda
kid.
like
yeah, I
the
was gonna say,
strap
does it
'cause-
flop down when you're like looking down? at
Yeah,
your
so you
ball?
gotta like cinch it up to your chin, or like when you're looking at your ball, it's like dangling in your eye line.
Around here, it's so windy though, and there's so much brim. Otherwise, it's getting caught and taken off. I like the strap. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like it. I just don't like that I have to cinch it up to my chin like a little kid.
It does look like you're getting like dressed up and ready for Halloween.
Yeah,
when it's
it-
too cold out.
It's like one of those stupid cone birthday hats with the tight strap underneath.
So if like someone pisses you off, they could just like come lift it up and snap it back
Yep.
onto your head.
Thank God these ones aren't elastic. But yeah, so I convinced Grandpa Dave he did not want one. Like I went to the extent of having him try it on and then sending pictures to Grandma and then texting Grandma, be like, hey, just say it looks amazing on Grandpa, and then deleting that text that I sent to her and then showing him like Grandma loves it. Like Grandma thinks it's the coolest hat ever. And he tried on one of those. He tried on like a Greg Norman straw one. And I have the pictures on my phone, actually. And finally convinced him to buy it. He wore it during the Caddy Girls tournament. It was in the videos, and people loved it on him.
All it takes is one person to give you a compliment wearing something, and then you're like, this is my identity now.
Yes.
It does not take a lot. The straw hats are a good look too. I would not mind straw hats making a comeback.
The straw hat is sweet, too. The Greg Norman style. Like, Miles has been wearing them in the new dad character.
Mm-hmm. Straw hat. Get a visual on this. Yeah, I think they're a really good look.
All right.
It takes like an older looking person, like a younger person.
He posed for it and everything. He's like, hold on. Let me. He posed for the picture. I'm gonna send these to Mitch to put into the podcast, or if anyone's watching on Facebook, they can see. But he's just so happy.
That hand in the back pocket looks
Yep.
professional.
He's like,
He's posed before.
Fucking puts his hand. I'm surprised he didn't put his hand on his chin and like do blue steel or whatever the
Inspector Gadget.
the Zoolander pose.
I got a question for Lane.
Hit him.
So we've talked a lot about our rivalry with your guys' team on this podcast. Is it one-sided? Do you guys give a damn about us at all? Because I know one person who isn't here on our group is very into the rivalry.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I'd say the person that talks about it the most is like there's one guy in the group that is probably the most disconnected from this, and he listens to the podcast most of the time, I'd say, and he'll bring it up. He'll be like, oh, like they were talking about the rivalry and whatnot, and I work here, and I'm like, they were what? What rivalry?
They still got a podcast.
Yeah, they're still talking.
Good to know that you consume the podcast that you are now on, Lane.
You know, think about it this way, though. I'm talking with my coworkers. You know, I don't want to come back and just regurgitate what you guys already talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that. I don't listen to the podcasts that I'm on, obviously.
Yeah.
I lived them. I don't need to listen back to them. But yeah, I'm with Matt. I feel like it's pretty one-sided. Even, I know you're talking about Nolan. I don't think he actually gives a shit.
Not really.
No, because you guys are crushing us just by showing up.
Oh, yeah. And our scores are getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And you guys are just not.
Your
even
best
putting ones
ability has been availability
Yes.
so far. We have played twice as a group.
What, isn't there some shitty like football coach saying like the best athlete's one that shows up or something like that?
I think it is the best ability is availability or something like that.
God.
That's the AAU coach that just
yeah.
got throttled.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's the small town group that heads to the cities for the weekend AAU tournament. Just gets crushed by a bunch of D1 recruits.
Guys, we're already winners because we got ourselves on this bus and came here to get better.
Dude, so we played college football at the same place. Lane was a few years after me, but it's D3, so it barely counts. But D3, like I said, it's glorified high school, and there's a JV.
Yeah.
Just like high school, there's a JV college team.
So that's just anyone can join.
Yeah. So it's just like it's the D3. It's all walk-ons, no scholarships except for academic at the school we were at. So literally, if you wanted to play and you had a pulse, you could join the team. So there was 100+ people on this team, and 60 of them are freshmen, and the freshmen aren't going to touch the fucking field for an actual regular season game. So they give them a JV schedule so they have something to do all season, and they're not just out getting shit canned and getting minors and making the team look bad, right?
Yeah.
We were playing a team called, it was Botno, I'm pretty sure. And Botno had like 3 D1, like it was a JUCO, and they had some guys that were going to go D1 out of JUCO. And our coach, our pregame speech, he's like, guys, we don't have a chance today.
Oh.
They got D1 players left and right, but we're going to keep it close, okay? We're going to go out there and we're going to make them remember us because there's no way we're going to win. And then we fucking won.
Let's go.
It was the most reverse psychology bullshit we've ever been a part of. We scored three defensive touchdowns and we won by 3.
So you played like your best you could possibly play.
No, they just fucked up and we were in the right spot.
So I wonder if their speech was, guys, there's no way we're going to lose this game.
But so that's to the point. The best ability is availability. Just show up, guys, and maybe they'll fumble on the goal line a couple times and you'll scoop and score.
I need to talk to your coach about that.
Yeah, he was the assistant special teams coach, JV head coach.
So he was trying some new things out.
Yeah, they just basically had a sheet of plays and you just followed them in order the whole time.
90% of you will leave the school within the next year or two, but those 10% of you that are still playing.
This is for you.
Yeah, it's like the head coaches would show up like for one drive. It's like, yeah, we're coaches are watching, guys. This is your chance to see get on the travel bus.
And they're spending half the time in the concessions line, if there even are concessions.
Yeah, well, there are. No, not at a JV game. Absolutely not. There's like 10 fans in the stands, and it's just the parents that are from the town. None of the out-of-state kids. Yeah. Their parents aren't there for
my
that.
parents should not have come to all my JV games in high school. I told them not to, but they came to. They like drove 5 hours to like the Rapid City games just to watch me drop 3 screen passes and then drive home that night.
We should talk about the Yips. Lane has a great
Let's
Yips
do it. Yeah,
story.
please do.
Matt's talked about it on the podcast before. He got the football Yips where he would just drop screens.
Every single time. Because like I was like one of the coach's kids and I like did like show up in the summers and stuff and like worked hard. So
availability.
So they like at the end of games, they would try and force screen passes to me to get me the ball. And I dropped like every single one my senior year up until the homecoming game, which is when I caught my touchdown pass. But save that for a different day.
No, you've told that one already.
Plenty of times. But yeah, it's mental warfare.
So Matt's got the football Yips before. Ryan has got the golf Yips before. Lane, can you tell everyone your baseball Yips story, please?
Yes, I can. So picture this, I'm baseball family. I put a lot of hours into baseball, travel baseball, everything like that.
When he says baseball family, the Howlocks eat, sleep, and breathe baseball. Your brother works for like the Indians.
Yes.
You're born on the diamond.
Yeah, he works for their AAA in Columbus. Like my dad's entire basement is dedicated to it. So like I had to play baseball. It was always baseball. But my senior year, you'd think that I'd be like starting varsity or something, right? By putting all this time in and effort in. Well, I finally get like a big game. I remember one of the top pitchers in the state from North High's pitching, and I get an at-bat, right? I go up there, I show up to the plate, I'm kind of like jittery. I like grab the bat in my hand, whatnot. I step out to take my signs. I almost forgot to. Like I almost forgot to take the signs. I almost just like stepped in and stared.
Dialed in.
Well, it's like 20. At this point, it's like 18 years of like life is building up to this moment.
Yes, I'm 18. Like this is it. I should be performing, and I like line up. I like did this whole thing. I like hold my bat out, like do it, whatever. And he quick pitches me, and the first one like. The ball like came like a little bit inside, and I like kind of like I jumped away from it, and it was like strike, and it was like strike inside, and I was like, okay, I gotta get in here, whatnot. And the next one comes in, and the ball's inside again, and I try to reach out at it, like to block it, and
like
I'm
with your hand?
What just happened? And then I'm like, what did I just do? And then I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll step out. Take my signs again. I'm like, all right, here we go. Focus up. Like, whatever. Quick pitches me again. Another one inside. Probably would have been a ball. I hit it with my hand. I bat at it. Again. Like, I've never done that in my life. I've never tried to do that in a batting cage. My mind just entirely slipped. But I one time batted, and the second time I swatted it. And the ump was like, that's a strike. You can't do that. And then I got pulled from the game, and I never talked about it with my coach, which I'm so excited about because it's like scarred me for life. Like, I just got pulled. We didn't say anything. And then he's like, all right, you just pinch hit now. That is it. Like, that's your peak.
Yeah, you might want to look into college football, son.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful story.
Yeah.
That so perfectly describes it because you just forget how to do everything else.
Something I've been doing for 18 years.
Yeah,
I had never done that
window.
before.
It just all goes out the window, and your instincts just do like the reverse of what you're supposed to do.
It was terrible. I've never felt worse in my life coming home from a game.
Was it did you ride with your parents?
No, I drove home, and it was like a no radio. Like,
What did your
windows
dad
down.
say?
He didn't say anything.
Has
I
he
don't
ever
wanna
said anything?
Not about that one.
No yips from you, Tyler, ever? You just constantly kill it?
God, I mean, I wouldn't say kill it, but I don't think the closest thing I've gotten to the yips was also baseball. Babe Ruth. I played left field, and for an entire game, when I would like turn to track down a ball, or like I was just playing shitty. Like I let one go between my legs one time, but when I would turn to chase the ball, my fucking glove would fly off. So like there was one time some guy hit it to the warning track. So I turn and I'm watching it over my shoulder and I'm pumping my arms, glove flies off. There was the one time where it went in between my legs. I was just standing there like hard line drive, bounced once. And then instead of stopping, it went in between my legs. I whip around to run after it. Glove came off.
Mm-hmm.
It happened like 2 or 3 times in that game. And I just couldn't fucking explain why.
Yeah.
And I think it was just another mental thing. Like I was playing shitty. So my body just shut down. I don't know.
It's the fucking weirdest thing.
Well, that's why I didn't have any sympathy for Ryan because I don't understand how you can just keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
Definition of insanity.
Yeah. And it's just it wasn't really he changed shit. Like he changed his swing. He changed what he was doing, but he just still shanked it. And I can't wrap my head around the yips in general. It's so fucking insane. Like the outfielders that can't throw the ball back in. Why?
You just forget.
How do you don't forget? They physically can't throw it. They get it in their hand and then they have to run it into the cutoff man.
I think the brain is a very weird thing.
Yeah,
especially for athletes.
Yeah, they're like Smalls from the Sandlot. Like Smalls gets his first ball and he's like about to throw it and he's like, nah, and then just walks it to Benny the Jet.
You just can't do it anymore. Your mind, you've done something your entire life, and your mind for some reason was like, yeah, you know, you've been working at that forever. You've been doing it with your friend. Nope, it's gone.
It's because you're just so obsessed with the worst case scenario that you go and somehow make it even worse. It's like, it's crazy because like, yeah, the worst thing for like Lane's situation would have been like he strikes out. But like his brain's like, no, let's do it one step further.
I'm going to catch it.
Yeah, catch it, prove something or something like that.
I could have stood in place and it would have been better.
Yeah, it's just like
I could have froze.
You're so caught up with the worst case scenario that you somehow find a way to make it even worse.
Yeah, you could have just stood there for 3 pitches, not moved.
Frozen.
Would have been far, far better. It wouldn't even been a story. Just, oh yeah, I didn't really swing.
I imagine you like scrunching up your shoulders too and like batting at it.
Yeah, it was like that. It was.
I never so close.
Never get away.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I promise my intentions on this bringing you on were not to just shit on you the whole time. Back to golf. Lane, you're the definition of our audience. The score, you care about it, but it doesn't make or break your day. You're out there more to have fun than you are to make money, do whatever. What would you tell people trying to get into golf from an actual audience member?
Definitely. You just got to find one person that'll golf with you that's willing to just put up with like you golfing bad. And then you got to keep a good attitude about it. Cause you're like, okay, I literally need to go out. And if I hit one good shot on this hole, it's a happy hole.
Yeah.
It's a happy day.
Yeah. Happy day. Like if I hit one good shot in every 3 holes, like to start out, like that's probably good enough. Like as long as you do that and then you start hitting it straight, then you'll start hitting it well straight. And then you'll start hitting it, up in the air a little bit. You don't need to care about distances, anything. If you pipe it over the green, but you hit it well and straight, that's a good shot.
Yeah. You take your wins.
Yeah.
Even like at this point in my golf career, if I hammer the fuck out of a ball and it still goes in the water, I don't care. I just crush that thing straight.
100%.
Like, yeah, it sucks that I got to take a stroke, but I'm not playing for my score. It doesn't really matter to me. And I think you said one thing good too. It's like finding the right person to get into it with. Because I wasn't good by any means when we started, but we were friends and I didn't give a shit if you hit it 2 feet or 200. So I think like finding the right partner that's, I don't know, they don't even need to be better than you, do they?
No, not really. Just as long as it's like two people and neither of you gets like really frustrated, because you'll feed off that for sure.
Yeah.
I feel that I'll golf with really good players, but I'll golf bad because I can tell like they shank a shot and they're just pissed and, lighting into it. And you're like,
You become the good vibes guy.
Yeah.
It's a role I've specialized in.
What do you think is worse? Like, we can use myself for an example, even though I don't think this has ever happened with either of you. Like, if I'm playing shitty and I'm just fucking crabby, what's worse? If I'm crabby at my performance or if I'm crabby at Matt because he keeps shooting 10s on every hole and it's taking forever? Would you rather have me be pissed off in general at my game, at everything as a whole, or pissed off at you and your slow?
I wouldn't want you pissed off at me because then I'd feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Okay.
And if that's a beginner, that would keep them from playing ever again.
That would have killed it. I probably wouldn't be playing right now.
Yeah.
The people you play with to begin, I think that's the biggest thing. Like if you go out and play with like your friends who golf every single weekend and they're just going to be like crushing it, it's just going to be too discouraging. I think you got to find some other beginner or someone who just has the patience to play with you for a while. Like, just don't bite off more than you can chew, I would say.
Yeah. I think my favorite people to play with are like, not necessarily beginners, but just people that aren't super, super good.
Yeah.
But that just want to have a shit ton of fun. Like, I've played with beginners that are absolute buzzkills. Like, they are no fun to play with. They're just pouty. They're just like, they lose interest at like hole 6 and they're just fucking around.
Yeah, or they expect way too much of themselves too early.
Yeah, even if they're not upset at their gameplay, it's just annoying. Like, I want to go out there and if there's a beginner that just keeps hitting it 10, 20 feet at a time, but they're so positive about it and they're slugging beers and they're like still excited when somebody makes a good putt, I would much rather have that than someone that's just a sourpuss the whole time or loses interest completely.
Yeah.
That totally kills it. You're walking with someone who's basically just on a walk now.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many more holes are we doing? 12.
Like, do you remember like my bachelor party when my friend Brady lost his phone?
That's tough.
And he refused to take a fucking cart to go find it. So he just started walking back on every hole looking for his phone.
That's tough.
And he found it. Some guys had found it and they're like, what are you fucking doing? He's like, I'm looking for my phone. And like, we got it right here, buddy. And he just turned around and found us again. Just
walked back.
Just in everybody's way.
Very Forrest Gump moment, kind of.
Yes.
Just walking off doing your own thing.
And I love that guy to death. I'll never golf with him again.
Yeah.
Yep.
He lost his opportunity.
He's he just had I don't even think he picked up a club the whole time.
There are some people who like, especially in like a bachelor party or situation like that, where you can just tell they have no interest in joining, but then they're like, I'm not going to just sit at the cabin the whole time. So.
And he wasn't like a grump. He wasn't mopey or anything, but he was just slowing everybody down, even though he wasn't golfing. He was like just like standing in the way.
Yeah, they don't know where to stand because they just don't understand the rules. They'll like stand like right in front of like where you're about to tee off, or like right in front between the ball and the hole.
Or he'll be fucking, hold on. He'll be doing one of these numbers. right in your backswing.
Hey, so what are we doing after this?
Yeah.
He's getting notifications up.
Oh,
Ding,
hey, nice shot.
Ding.
Yeah. So yeah, avoid those people at all costs. Be their friend. Tell them to meet you for drinks after the round.
Yeah, say like, go get a workout in. Or
Yeah.
Maybe clean the place up a little bit.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Just meet us at.
No, if you don't have any interest, you're not gonna have fun. You might think you will, like riding car. Like, oh yeah, it'll go quick, but it's 4 hours. People are only gonna be talking about golf. Like,
yeah, and like I do want to hang out with you, just not in this setting.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, maybe part of that too is like, do something fun after, then you'll just train your brain to associate golf with things that are fun, and then you'll think that golf is
That's
fun.
smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Well, yeah, we talked about after I golfed with you guys. Well, not with you, but your team.
When you were Lane.
Yeah,
Nice hole, Lane.
Yeah, that was the running joke. Every time I had a good shot, they're like, "Nice shot, Lane."
They probably called you Wayne.
They did. No, only Nick did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Nolan usually calls me Wayne out there.
But afterwards, having the beer and the burger to look forward to made the round so much better. It was weird. It was like a weird mental thing.
It's like Pavlov's dog, kind of.
Mm-hmm. It's like, ooh, I get nummies.
Our group, we have never hung out once outside of the course.
Now we come back to the office.
Yeah. That's the only thing we have to look forward to is like coming back to do like an awkward amount of work with 3 beers in you.
Yeah,
You're like slightly sweaty.
it's so hard to like. I can get more done shit canned than I can with like 3 to 5 beers.
Yeah, because it's just like you feel it inside you. It's just like, come on, are we doing this? Or
It's like, are you sober or not, dude? You got to figure it out.
Are we going for it? Like, what's the move?
Like I've put in docs like borderline blacked out before and been extremely productive.
That's crazy.
But if I try to put in docs like 3 to 5 beers deep, I'd just be groggy. My mind would be all mush.
Yeah, you're just trying to get to the next thing, which is hopefully just drinking more.
Yeah, it's like if you're hammered, it's like let's go for it. We like
Yeah.
I can lift the whole lift by
Yeah,
myself.
it's an activity now. You
Yep.
got something to do.
Yeah.
Definitely need to be blacked out if you're doing it without waiters.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Just gotta keep drinking.
It's a liquor blanket. That's the number one thing to have in your golf bag for fall and spring golf is a liquor blanket. Not an umbrella, not a pullover, a bottle of whiskey to keep you warm. Even though we're in the dead of summer. So
Yeah.
take that advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah, save it for a few weeks.
Yep.
We'll get it soon enough.
Anything else you want to ask our resident audience member?
I got one more
Kinda.
thing. So when we started this league, Tyler said that you and I were gonna be like equal, like kind of like I was the rival to you, like amongst the team. But since then, I've found that you're just like a lot better now. So you got any tips for me?
You got to have an aggressive follow through.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, tips for you to start out. Don't swing as hard as you can. You just hit the ball straight, because if you can hit the ball straight, like you don't even realize how many strokes you'll take off. Like trying to play hero ball in the woods behind trees or in a bush
I
or
love
something.
hero ball.
I
I've just
do
now
every
started
time.
going for like punch outs and just like get it back to the fairway. But I used to like I could have like a tree right in front of me and I'll still like pretend I can swing through the tree or something like that. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I just think I can like swing through the tree.
It's for that very, very tiny percentage that you pull it off. It's so fucking cool.
I know, and that's always been my mentality. That's even like how I play Madden and stuff. Like I'll roll left and throw it across my body because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's so much cooler if I can pull this off.
Yeah, you know I've never lost to Matt and Madden.
That's
Real-
not true.
Yes, it is.
You literally have.
No, I beat you every time.
No, that's all right. Are you ever going to replace the 12-year-old clubs?
The 12. I don't know. I've been thinking about replacing the irons because they are the wrong size.
Yep.
You
for me,
have the
for sure.
most.
I actually just picked up a new club debuting today. I've never swung it before.
Ooh.
My 3-iron is shorter than my other short clubs. And I went to Goodwill the other day and they were selling 3 clubs for 99 cents.
Hell yeah.
And I picked up 2 3s and a 4, which I've never had.
Why
and
did
I'm
you
just
double
busting
up
them
on threes?
Because I had to pick 3 because they're 99 cents. And they really
Why
only
did you
had
get a
3s.
different number?
They only had like 3s, a couple of 4s, and then like a
You
lot
couldn't
of
do 2 for
9s.
66 cents? You had to get all 3?
No, they didn't. I actually asked them.
Like,
I was like,
I
"Oh,
do 1 for 33 cents.
I might as well grab my other club. Yeah.
Lane, didn't you just buy a driver?
I did. I bought one. They were having the X-Hots on sale.
Yeah, Matt got the exact same one. So you guys are swinging the same driver. I was going to say we have somebody in the DM, Steve Irwin, not that one.
RIP.
He just got 2 Callaway Big Bertha drivers and he's trying to get rid of one. So
We'll have to fight for it.
if you guys don't like
I
the
mean,
X
I just got a new one. So
Yeah, same. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying mine still.
yeah, okay. Just fucking go
Why don't
around
you
it.
take it, Tyler?
I just got a brand new one.
I know. These are the perks and the downsides of being us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably like buy it and then sell it to Andy or something. Well, I'll just have Andy give me money and buy it for him.
Yeah,
About
I
the
think
way to
something
go.
like that.
Yeah,
is
so
fair.
Steve, hit me up, man.
say, Matt, I have one more piece of advice for you
Okay.
that really helped me out right away, just mentally in the game. My first whole year of golfing, I never once marked a score more than an 8. And no hole
Okay.
goes beyond an 8. And it
Mhm.
makes you feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're,
Interesting.
I just quad, I like just hit a 10. What? Nope, that was an 8. Your final score looks so much better. It doesn't actually matter because you don't care about the score at the end.
Yeah.
It made me feel so much better.
That's good to know because I write down some 10s and
Who
12s.
taught you that?
Some guy that I used to live with.
Nice.
Right across the table.
That's a Grandpa Dave rule.
Oh, it's Dave. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was your rule.
Yeah, no, well, I took it from Grandpa Dave. When you're starting out golf, 8 is the highest you can get, and you circle the 8s that are true 8s because those become the tiebreaker if you're playing for something.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, doesn't it get weird then when like you like talk about your score and then like you play with someone and they're just like you're not that good?
No,
Nope.
not when you're starting. When you're putting up like 5 8s in a round
Yeah,
of 9,
it doesn't
people are
matter.
gonna know like, all right, these might not be all 8s.
that feels
Yeah.
great because you're like, oh, I just broke 50. Like I might hit a couple of 8s and they might not have the circle on them, but
See, I'm such a tryhard. Like I count like every single shot, even when I don't have to, and like I write down like 10s and 12s a good amount of the time. And I think it like makes me feel better about like I'm more honorable.
Yeah,
I feel better about myself.
The only time I write more than an 8 is if I'm like playing in a tournament or at league.
Yeah.
If I'm playing with my buddies, even for me, still 8's the highest I'll go.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I think I'm maybe a little too hard on myself on the scorecard.
No.
Easy. Give yourself drops if you need to. Like
Mhm.
I will do
especially
that.
starting out. Yeah.
I will say if there's like a time where like hit the ball and it goes like an inch up in the air and lands, I don't count like those. Or if I like miss a swing, and
Yeah,
miss
yeah.
the ball completely, no chance I'm counting that.
One of my favorite things to do when I'm golfing with somebody new that doesn't know the rules, number one. Number two, maybe getting a little frustrated, I'll just make up a fucking rule. Like if they have a bad lie, like, yeah, that is a man-made object. You can get a free drop from that.
So yeah, if the grass is dying and it's September, you're actually allowed to take off.
Well, yeah, like it's course maintenance drop. So like, yeah, that's just a dead spot. You can pull that out of there because it's a course maintenance drop. You just make up some words and then tell them they get a free drop.
You're telling me that's not a real rule?
No, Lane, I'm sorry.
Those are my birdies.
You see anything? You see that white spray paint next to the water there? Yeah, since you went into the water there, you get to pull it out for free. That's just like unnatural.
Oh, congratulations. It's 3 p.m. That means free drop hour. You can take a free drop at any point from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Or I like to pull the, if you were playing on the tour, they would have found that. So you just drop one right here.
Yeah.
They have spotters on the tour that would have found that ball.
If there was an audience watching you play, we would have found that
Yeah,
ball.
there's no way you would have lost that ball if you would have had a spotter. So even though you hit it 115 yards into the woods, someone would have found that for you. So just take a free drop, man.
Basically the patronizing PGA at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're golfing with someone, just make up some rules for them, make them feel better about
Give them
themselves.
a chance.
Yeah. Hit the cart path. Take a
Doesn't
free.
count.
You need a fresh ball. If it hits the cart path, the ball's ruined. You need a free ball. Take a drop.
Don't throw in the water though. They get better after a few nights.
Yeah.
They just need some chance to heal up.
Gotta marinate them. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to share with anyone, Lane?
Yeah, you got a plethora of listeners at your disposal.
No,
Spread
nothing
any
I want to
propaganda
share.
you want.
We'll just see. Matt, you have to let people know how my coaching goes for DJing Tyler's wedding.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
the one walking you through it.
We talked about that last episode, Matt.
DJ
AKA
Stimulant Beaver.
DJ Stimulant Beaver.
We threw in a name generator and that's what I got.
Yeah, the name generator too. I don't know if we talked about this last week. It had some of like the most in-depth questions.
Yeah, what was it asking me?
There was like
the
a
color
quiz.
of my eyes.
And it was like, what keeps you up at night? And Matt's like, my impending death. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
What are the nightmares that you have? Matt's like, I lose my teeth in my dreams.
I do a lot of the times.
Is that because now beavers have really big teeth?
I bet that
harder
is
to
part of the reason.
Well, it was so in depth and like personal questions, and then it popped out DJ Stimulant Beaver.
Yeah, I want to know what their algorithm is because
All it was them trying to gather information on you to sell you ads, and then just giving you a fake fucking name.
pretty much, yeah, my ads for like sleep paralysis and all that stuff have just skyrocketed lately.
I need you to start your DJing with like, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Stimmy Beeve in the house.
Hope you're ready for a damn good time.
Yeah. So Lane will be coaching. Lane's dad owns a DJ business, so we're getting the equipment from Lane and his father, and Lane is teaching Matt how to use it.
Yeah, I've never done it before, so I'm gonna be relying on you pretty heavy because I know you got stuff going on day of.
Yeah, Lane's in the wedding.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll have to pull you aside for like 20 minutes just to learn how to use all the stuff, but we'll do that beforehand.
Yeah,
'Cause I think I'm golfing with you guys that Friday.
Yeah. So Friday before we'll set up we don't need a fucking wedding plan. Yeah.
So what color did you go with the tablecloth?
I don't know. I'm
Cream?
assuming white.
Cream, probably.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, that is. Thank you for being on, Lane.
Appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you on for a while, but Ryan keeps shutting it down. So he's gone, and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Probably
so.
thinks I'm coming for his job or down in the merch. Now I'm up here.
Well, we'll see how the views do this week. If it's higher, sorry, Ryan.
You gotta have the business decisions eventually.
Ryan's gonna end up working from home forever. So. All right.
See you guys.
Hell, that's a breakfast ball.